Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the Watchpoint Post-Show live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. I'm losing my voice because it was so hyped in here just now. I'm your host, Malik Forte, joined as always by Zoe Brent and Sideshow. Whew, what a day, guys. What a day.
What a day.
You know what we always do, guys. I'm just going to go straight into it. Zoe, what did you learn today? On the last day of the week?
What did I learn today? I would say I learned that we're Reaper, really. Like, I don't think we're quite there yet.
Why did you start with that point, Zoe? Ow.
Because it has to be said, at the end of the day, we all want those DPS heroes, but Reaper is still a bit of a stretch. Yeah.
It stings a little bit to hear, but it's true.
It is true.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
it
What about
hurts.
you, Brent?
What did I learn today? Oh my goodness. I learned that Florida Mayhem have got some ways to go, I think.
Yeah.
They got some distance, they got some climbing to do.
They do say you learn something new every day, but I'm not sure that's true with you, Brent.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you learned
Listen,
anything.
Josh, I got an in-ear saying, please make sure it's different from your hindsight at the end. And I was about to say my hindsight at the start of the show, and then I panicked, and then I just remembered one game, and it was New York, Florida. So that's what I'm going with, Josh.
This is what I learned today. I learned that it's going to be sick when we move into having regular home and away games, because to capture this kind of atmosphere here, you just can't understand it if you're at home. It's nuts. The difference it makes, the Battle of LA and when the LA home teams play, is just insane. And then when we end up going everywhere, like we've got Dallas coming up,
Right.
that's going to be nuts.
Crazy.
It's going to be so
It is.
good.
It is. That's some real talk, man. Yeah, Dallas coming up in a couple weeks, guys. Definitely want to keep your eyes out for that. Now, also, be sure to get your Overwatch League All Access Pass, because coming up right after Watchpoint, you won't want to miss a live Q&A with Custa from the LA Valiant, exclusively with that All Access Pass on Twitch. Now, Custa and the LA Valiant faced off against the LA Gladiators today in the battle for LA, a very hype match. And well, the battle was indeed what it was. The Gladiators had shields up and took map 1 and tightly fought map 2 to end it with a draw, which brings us to Eichenwald here at map 3. If the Valiant wanted to make it 2 in a row, they needed this map.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think that most people are expecting this to be a massacre of LA, the slaughter of LA, rather than the battle for LA. But it really wasn't. This game was close.
But it makes it do...
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Brent.
Oh, how
You're so
polite.
polite. You're so polite.
Your point better be really good, though.
I think Gladiators were throwing. To be honest,
That's exactly what I was
I don't
what I
know.
was going to say.
I saw people talking about this after Hanamura, where Shortfall played a lot of weird heroes. I think they really think these heroes and compositions are good.
And how does my point change from that?
Okay, so...
They can still throw without thinking they're throwing.
No, throw is an active verb.
So when you say throw, do you mean like a little bit of friendly disrespect?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they took it as serious as they could have / should have. I mean, honestly,
I'm
though,
not convinced.
seeing Roar and Fate just going off to 1v1 each other somewhere in a corner, whilst the rest of the team fights with each other on Eichenwald, like, when does that ever happen? Like, why would
That was
happen?
amazing, though. I mean, that was a fantastic little series of events where he got knocked down to the bottom. Now, I will say, bringing in Reaper here was a good decision, and, you know, I don't think it was disrespect or anything like that. I think it's just to try and give him some game time, you know, and it's interesting to see him get some game time. It ended up not working out for him. He's currently the only...
Sideshow looking me straight in the eye as he says upset at this point.
It didn't work out for Reaper, unfortunately.
Is he like the only one on the team with a losing ratio?
Well, I think that's the problem when you name yourself after Reaper, isn't
Like
it?
KSF from last year.
Yes, yeah. But actually, KSF has started looking good now. I
KSF
think
is looking
The more
good.
reps you get, the better you tend to perform, weirdly. Practice helps.
Yeah, I'm happy to see any of the DPS characters in. And also, we got some Mei. We got some Mei in there too, so that was awesome to see. Well, after the Gladiators win today, that brings the all-time Battle for LA record to 4-2 all-time in favor of the Valiant. Well, the Battle for LA took center stage today, but the battle for a spot in the Stage 2 playoffs was on when the Dallas Fuel faced off against the Paris Eternal. The new-look Dallas Fuel got to put their lineup to the test against a thriving Paris squad, and once again, no OG looking too strong.
Yeah, ain't gonna lie, I had a chat with Cruz before this game, and he was talking up. He was like, yeah, we're gonna demolish them. I believed into his hype. I believed into his beautiful blue eyes. And that was not the case.
I don't think he has blue eyes.
I was about to ask.
He does.
Does he have
No,
blue
I actually
eyes?
don't know what color eyes he has.
Wow, what kind of friend are you?
I don't know what color eyes
What
he
kind of
has.
Overwatch League analyst doesn't know what
What color eyes do I have, Josh? I got my eyes closed right now. What do I
Kind
have?
of greeny blue.
Greeny blue.
You're wrong.
Oh,
You're
well.
wrong.
Either way, on Paris, you were hyping, or rather you were hyping up what Cruz said, that they are actually looking really good on Paris, and they did, honestly. I don't think Paris looked very bad on this.
Yeah, it's a good map for them.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting what Dallas tend to run on Paris, where they have Note play the Orisa, and then they have OG. You're seeing it here. This
Note on
competition.
Hanzo seems to be their strat here too.
Yeah, and then Note on the
that's an
Hanzo
actual
offer.
thing.
I mean, that's such a weird strat, and I love that the coaches have come up with that.
Yeah.
Right, let's big up OG though, because
Yes.
this guy
Please
was
do.
phenomenal the entire
He really was.
He was unreal. Definitely deserved the player of the match at the end. Like, I mean, he's just a bit of a freak beast. He's turned into one almost.
He certainly is. I think the addition of Note has really helped him out. It looked like there was maybe some confidence issues. We know that he's had nerves on stage before, you know, throughout some 2018, and the whole team wasn't doing so well. But now that the system around him kind of works a lot better, OG is now showing what he's really
I'm
capable of.
surprised they mashed so quickly though, because frankly, it's not like they had an awful lot of playing time with each other, or so
Sure.
I'm gonna assume, and they look really, really well coordinated.
Yeah, there was something about OG's game sense today that seemed to be like amplified.
Yeah.
Like he was just in the right places at the right time the entire game. What was up with that?
I know Mr. X has been raving on about OG for quite some time, but again, the reason he was telling us this is because he just watches his stream all the time. So I don't know if that's where he gets all of his analytical information
I think it
from,
probably
just
is.
watching players' streams. Probably explains a lot, actually, about it. But he's looking at me off camera now. It's beautiful because he can't defend himself, so I love it.
That's how Brent likes
I
to do
almost
his
want to bring
analysis.
him up so he can come up here and say something.
What is Matt? He's not coming out.
He's like, nah.
Nah, Brent's
he's
scared.
cool.
That's another good one. That was
He's
another
waiting for you after the show, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you better watch out, man. You think you're going to get the Game of Thrones? I don't think so, buddy. All right, before Stage 2, the Dallas Fuel and the Boston Uprising pulled off a trade that sent Dallas and RCK to, or Note to Dallas and RCK to Boston. I gotta make sure I got that right. Zoe, who do you think has gotten the better of that trade so far?
I mean, I do think they both got what they needed, and I am equally impressed with how both of those are fitting into their new respective teams. We're looking at the stats on their Diva, at least. RCK is getting a little bit of a better end there with the hero damage done, as well as the final blows. However, Note is dying less, and that is incredible important. Self-destruct kills, also RCK kind of in the lead, but they both also showed a lot of variety and versatility for their teams, and Note, I do think he fits so well with that Dallas Fuel roster, and I love what we're seeing so far. I love that they allow him to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, this trade has been mutually beneficial for both teams, I
Absolutely.
think. The Dallas have now got a really solid Diva, and even though Note's stats don't really show it, everyone respects his play. Diva's that kind of hero where you can't really go by the stats to be able to tell how good somebody is. It's about where you are, how you're positioned, pressure, being able to relieve it from other teammates. Note is really good at a lot of that stuff, and I love the change in coaching that has allowed these players to develop as well. Now that Note is on Dallas rather than Boston, he's started to branch out a little bit with the heroes that he's playing and the style that he's playing. RCK has added something himself over to the Boston Uprising, allowed them to play different styles. So it's awesome to see that trades really can work out in the Overwatch League.
Right. Isn't Note one of the top damage dealers in the league all time?
Yeah, he is. He has, I believe, he's somewhere in the top 5.
That's probably
Don't
from his
make me
hands, though.
lie.
He's just absolutely...
His hands are really upped him there, but like that's a league overall.
I think it's eliminations.
Actually.
That's what it is.
It's an elims, and frankly, as a Diva last season, that was quote-unquote easier.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was excellent within Boston's system. must be
Absolutely.
said.
Right, it's working out for them very well. Well, guys, coming up, we've got a couple of teams looking for their first win of the stage, and a team that refuses to lose. This coming up on the Watchpoint Post Show.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Wait, if they say closet, should I Junkrat and just shoot from spawn?
I play Junkrat?
No, me.
Oh, you play?
Yeah.
maybe not.
괜찮아.
괜찮아.
괜찮은데 내가 충분히 해줄 수 있어 그거는.
그러니까 아나 따로 있는 거 잡아야 돼. 아나 따로 있는 거.
굳이 그런 거 할 필요가 없어.
야.
You know, it's good to hear the Justice communicating and trying to work out a different comp, but would it be enough to get their first win of the stage today against Atlanta? Well, I mean, they've tried, but the Atlanta Reign, they looked a lot better today than they have previously in the stage.
They really did, but I need to roll back here quickly. Poor
roll it
Corey,
back.
just let him play Junkrat. Why you hate?
Yeah, I think that's actually the first time that we've ever run comms of the Washington Justice. And,
Yeah.
you know, we've alluded to it a couple of times, but the communication structure within that team is really interesting as well. The fact that Corey is the only person who doesn't speak Korean on the team, and the fact that they are going so much for a mixed roster must make things very difficult for him, which is kind of why you see him just kind of pop off on the solo individual heroes, and which confuses me as to how they look very coordinated on the defenses when they run these compositions based around him on the Bastion. Because the rest of the team is going to have to peel for him and communicate
Bastion's
where they're
point and shoot, isn't it? At the end
right,
of the day?
but it's a lot of being able to move at the right times and relieve pressure at the right time.
I think you're overestimating it, honestly.
You think you could play Bastion?
I
in
could
an
plug
old-
myself into Washington and I'd get them a win. That's all I'm saying.
This was nuts, though.
Oh
I
my
mean, you
God.
don't
This is
often see an 8.
Erster is killing right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How
stuff.
often do we see 6Ks here in the Overwatch League?
Very, very
It's rare. I think that might have been the 18th one, honestly.
Are you just pulling that number straight out?
Genuinely, the other day, who the heck got the other one? It was like a 17th one we got the other day. OGE got the 17th one the other day, so that must be the 18th.
Okay, well, if you want to believe Bren, it's the 18th. If you don't want to believe Bren, we'll
I've
maybe
got the
look it up
numbers,
later on.
all right? Calm yourself, lad, all right?
We'll ping production in the back and get an official ruling on that in a bit.
Yeah, I think Pogba definitely had a better game today. I felt like he was struggling in the last one they had. So overall, they came together a little bit more this time around. Not to say that the Washington Justice didn't look improved. I was very impressed with Otto's Farah. He got away with way too much
Yeah,
on it.
both of these teams were very messy, to be honest. And
Yeah.
both of these teams, you can tell, are kind of hanging around the bottom end of the table at the moment. And we're going to need to see big improvements for them to be able to take wins off other teams in the mid-table.
All right, well, guys, check out this tweet from Dogman of the Atlanta Reign. He basically was bigging up Washington Justice, but also kind of criticized his own gameplay, saying he fed his brains out today.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is it good to see him taking a little bit of accountability, Brent?
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
I don't want him to get too down, though, because he is a bit of like a hype man, a cheerleader for this team as well when he's actually in the communication.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've seen? He's growing out the hair for the bowl cut.
Okay. Oh my
Dude,
word.
he must be, because like his hair was down a little
I
bit.
forgot
He's
about
growing
that.
it out.
He said if he got
Yeah,
into the
if he
Overwatch
got
League,
into the Overwatch League, he'd bowl out his hair and get a bowl cut.
That would be
Man said
amazing.
this.
Yeah.
If he comes out on
that
stage
would
one day with a
improve
bowl
his
cut,
synergy with Poke Post so much.
I'm predicting Atlanta every time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. You heard it first from him.
I think it's going to still happen, guys. But look, it may have been a loss, but it was still an impressive showing from Corey from the Washington Justice, and we can't help but wonder what it might look like if he had a little more support around him. Bryn, how would you handle this if you were the GM of the Washington Justice?
Okay, well,
God.
firstly, if I was to look at that photo, I look 50. All right, I would swap. I'd swap out Corey for Kareev, move these players around a little bit. We've harped on about Valiant. They're trying to build around this this English-speaking roster. I think they're missing kind of this hit scan specialist almost, with Soon leaving the team for Valiant, whereas the Washington Justice, you know, we've seen their communication is struggling a little bit. Josh, stop pouting at me like you're some 4-year-old child who's not getting what he wants.
I'm
Listen,
just wondering,
don't
are you
talk
going
to me.
Are you going to
Brandon.
run Kareev? If Kareev was traded to the Washington Justice, would you be running him on flex support or would you be running him on DPS?
DPS.
On DPS?
Yeah, on the Washington Justice.
Right, and you think that's a sizable upgrade over Corey?
No.
So what you just did was taking away one of the strongest assets Justice has.
But he speaks
Why would
Korean,
Justice
dude.
agree to
He
this?
speaks Korean,
Okay,
dude.
okay.
Come on.
That makes a bit of
He
sense.
speaks Korean, Josh. This
Brand-
better point was lying.
Bryn, you might want to take a couple of days before you check competitive
My
Overwatch Reddit
goodness.
after making this thing.
I ain't giving them the time of day. This is outrageous.
It's all a setup.
All right, guys. Well, one team that doesn't need to make a roster move anytime soon is the NYXL. They look to continue their near-perfect stage today when they took on the Florida Mayhem. And I don't know what I can say that hasn't been said already about the NYXL when they play games.
I mean-
they haven't even dropped any maps. They
No.
have one tie the entire stage. They look great.
But we are disappointed, are we not? We
Why?
suggested the perfect lineup earlier today,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
and yet they went with theirs. What's up with that?
They are cowards. Where's Pine, eh? Where's
From
that?
John on DPS. Don't feel Mano.
I'm going to be real with you, though. The one thing I don't like about New York is that they seem to play down to their opponents a little bit. Especially in this match, there were some moments where I was like, okay, all
Only
right.
towards the end of the series. I agree with you once we got onto stuff like Junkertown, but Junkertown was really the only map where I felt like they played down.
Yeah.
But the only team who doesn't do that is the Shock at the moment. Vancouver
Yeah.
also go
Yes,
full troll.
yeah.
I don't even know.
Vancouver love to just take the fourth game off and have a mess around.
Yeah, have a good old time.
Yeah, they have a whale of a time on the fourth match.
I don't think it's important to point out the fact, though, that NYXL, they haven't lost a map this stage.
That is
and they
nothing.
drew one
one,
map
yeah.
against Shanghai. That is creating some distance between them and Vancouver in the standings, especially with yesterday Vancouver dropping that map to Houston.
Yeah.
There's a little more room between them at 1 and 2.
That could end up being pretty important, but I think it'll really just come down to who ends up losing first. I think that's the big one, right? Like, Warpoint is a team going to be able to beat NYXL or Titans in the regular season.
And I mean, honestly, if you're looking at the schedules from both of those teams, it's not going to happen in this stage.
Yeah, it's
Unless
actually
there's a big
stage 4.
upset.
Yeah.
It's stage
Stage
it's
four?
stage 4, week 5. New York Excelsior are playing. I really struggled to say that then. New York Excelsior are playing against the Titans.
All right, but
Oh,
you
really?
don't think that either of the teams are going to drop a single match until they face each other in the regular season?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Upsets are a thing, like, and you don't even know
Yeah.
what patch we're going to be on. You don't
Yeah.
know what maps.
Players
Yeah,
can get
I do.
injured, you know, it
Listen,
can fall
I'll
down
make the claim
stairs.
right now.
Okay,
mean,
all right then.
I
I
think
mean,
the
you,
same-
you
Okay.
also claimed that Chengdu were going to go undefeated this stage.
Yeah, and where are they now?
They just got beaten.
But they might get the other wins as well.
I don't know what.
If they win all the rest of their games now, I'm
All right.
half right.
Bryn, what is the likelihood?
First.
Okay, let's stick with stage 2. What's the likelihood that NYXL, they make it through the end of the stage without dropping a map? What's the likelihood?
Probably like I give it like 98%.
98%?
Yeah.
I think
You give a 2% chance of Fusion or Atlanta Reign getting a map off them once.
Yeah. Yeah, 2% chance.
Have you ever done maths?
Yeah, I
I'm
was actually
slowly
pretty good at
getting more
it.
and more bothered
I was
about
supposed to go into computer science, Josh. I don't know if you know this.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, honestly.
Y2K would have looked like nothing if Brennan got into computer science.
All right, we're going to keep the show rolling for you guys to ring each other's necks, guys. The most over-the-top moments of the day are coming up, so don't go anywhere. The Watchpoint Post Show will be right back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, everyone. It's now time for our most over-the-top moments of the day. And at number 5, we got
Oh,
Baby
no.
Bay doing something that I
Look at this
despise.
disappointed
He's
Mika.
dabbing.
That's what made my day. She was so mad at him.
Somewhere in the
Rightfully so.
world, Golden Boy is screaming out of a window. Look at Hex. That's how I feel, Hex. I'm with you, Hex.
Like kids these days.
Can we stop this, guys? Stop this madness. Moving on, we have Finzy's crazy self-destruct, which was literally over the top of the building.
I'm really impressed with Finzy. Honestly, I think Finzy really stepped up his game as of late. And I do very much like what we're seeing. Not just on D.Va, also on Soldier,
Is it
etc.
a bit of trivia for you? Josh, where's
Go on
Finzy
then.
from?
Iceland.
Well done.
How do you
Thank
avoid
you.
that?
And he's the second best D.Va from Iceland.
All right, up next, Popo with a crazy primal rage up against the Justice. He's lovely.
Yeah,
Knocked
this was-
everybody into the water.
Pretty good.
This as well shows that Popo does actually have a bunch of talent. Like, he's actually a really mechanically talented player. But
That sounded
particularly-
so negative.
Who said otherwise?
particularly on Winston, though. And I think this applies to a bunch of tanks in the league that particularly came from the Korean region and practiced a huge amount of Winston. They do have that skill.
All right, moving on. We got Erster with that 6K from earlier. This makes me miss Tracer gameplay. I don't know about you guys, but this is
Yeah.
so good to see.
Take me back to 2018, eh? Tracer Meta, Widowmaker, Mercy. That was the golden day.
Should have
Yeah,
appreciated
yeah.
dive while
Everyone
we
loved
still
the
had
Mercy
it, guys. And last but not least, the Battle of LA through and through. This was such a great moment to be a part of the Overwatch League here in the Blizzard Arena. It was a good match, too.
Yeah, I've got to reiterate, like, it's just sick having these teams, like, they're battling out the home teams. When we get to these games, you're going to see crowds like this all over the place 2020. It's
Yeah,
going to be...
I'm
But
so
Valiant
excited
are
for
still ahead in this battle for
Well,
LA. Keep
who
that in
runs an
mind.
LA then? If Valiant are ahead in the overall battle, but Gladiators...
But
won the most
Valiant
recent-
now got Anaheim.
Yeah, they got Anaheim now.
Don't worry about it.
All right, guys, let's take out our Twitch cheerleader board, and I'm going to continue the tradition of giving my workload to someone else. Josh, take it away.
Well, it's Vancouver Titans in 10th place, followed up by Seoul Dynasty and Paris Eternal. Los Angeles Gladiators just after their win are currently sat in the 7th place. Above the LA Valiant, who are nowhere to be seen. Cheer for them a little bit. Why have I got this
Love the
music
music.
playing?
Love the
A
music.
little bit of... It's like a...
All right, rap guys.
Yeah.
Go for the individual leaderboard.
Je
There
mange
we
les
go.
pantalons.
Nobody's stepping up
No,
to
what?
Pepin D. Pom's level at the moment, but son of Dragon Chokang Kyun is not doing too bad down there.
You've ruined
Along
that,
with future poker star.
Yo, number 7, my best friend.
He's all in on his cheer bit.
Nitro
towards the
Man
Overwatch League.
65
Nice.
new? I think he might be.
Is he?
Yeah.
I have been keeping
I follow
track.
this very closely.
Do you?
Josh. Yes.
I-
I don't have many hobbies, but this is one of them.
All right.
So,
All right, guys. Week 2 of Stage 2 is in the books, so we're going to take a look back at some of the action with a bit more perspective. Keep it locked. More Watchpoint Post Show coming up.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
let's take a quick look at the Stage 2 standings after this weekend. The New York Excelsior are at the top at 4-0 on the stage. Look at that math differential right there at 15. Right behind them at number 2, the Gladiators at 4-0 after their victory today, sitting with the +8. But guys, any surprises here in the standings?
Yeah, definitely. I think the team that's the lowest down that shouldn't be is the Seoul Dynasty. They actually look pretty decent, and they're currently sat at bottom 2. They should be further up.
Hello?
Charge?
Yeah.
They got 0-4 blasted by everybody. I mean, I'm not...
Rough schedule.
against hard
Rough
teams.
schedule.
Paris?
Rough schedule.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Gladiators? Even Valiant won and
Like
drew a
it
map
already.
against Gladiators.
yeah,
Come
but
on.
it's a battle for
You
a
can't
lady.
be
Play up to it,
You
George.
can't be charge apologists anymore.
I think Defiant being so low is kind of weird for me. I thought the
Yeah.
Defiant would be a little bit higher.
True.
A little bit higher. All right, guys. Now that we have the first 2 weeks of the stage behind us, we're here at the desk. We are able to take a look back on the action with a bit more perspective in a segment we like to call Hindsight.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick things off here, and I'm gonna double down.
Double down.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna double down. Reaper.
What? Oh, come on, Zoe.
We're not ready for it yet. I'm
I'm done.
sorry.
I'm out.
Wait, was that your thing of the day?
I'm
Did you just reuse it, your hindsight? After I panicked?
Yeah.
You forgot yours as well, and you just used your
I
hindsight?
didn't forget mine.
Malik's the biggest
Malik's
Reaper
gone.
fan in the world, and you've killed him. Today
I'm
was such a
sorry.
good day, and you've ruined
Can I
it for
take
him,
it back?
Zoe. You can't take it back. You
All
said
right,
it.
my hindsight is that I guess it is possible for a Texas team to be good. You know?
Holy moly! And you're talking about Houston Outlaws taking a map off Titans, right?
No comment on that. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw a bone to the teams at the bottom end of the table, though. My hindsight is that the
Outrageous.
Justice actually look like they're starting to develop a little bit. They are making a little bit of progress. They've had some good holds. Their defenses look okay. They're starting to work things together. They look like there was a chance of them being able to beat Atlanta today. We might see a win on the horizon at some point in the future. So I'm throwing them a bone.
You throwing them up on. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm with you though. I think they're looking a little bit better.
Yeah?
And they're not getting too trounced.
Yeah.
Like they were before.
They're
so.
closing the gap from the bottom. There was always a solid bottom 2 teams. And
Right.
now that the bottom 2 teams are sliding up the table,
Right.
So
they're
they're like
closing the gap.
bottom
Taking this
3,
away
or
from me.
what
There's
worse?
Game of Thrones to be watched. Get out of here. Come on.
Oh, stop it, Brent. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us on the Watchpoint. We'll be back on Thursday with the pre-show at 3:30 Pacific. But until then, enjoy Game of Thrones. We'll see you then.